Do you know when you have like a stroke of genius and then you see that stroke of genius else somewhere in the world?
Yeah.
Great.
Welcome back to Show Me Yours podcast. I'm Jackie Agnew.
I'm Jonny DeVito.
And thank you so much for joining us once again.
Coming on back.
Why don't you click that like button,
Do it.
Subscribe, follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, leave a comment, ask us a question.
Sure.
And perhaps we shall answer.
Maybe.
And tell your friends, tell your family.
Yeah.
Tell your ex-lover.
That would be a good way to open the door up again. You know what I mean? Everybody says you shouldn't, but you've been thinking about it for so long. Open up that door to the past. Ruin your life again.
Yeah. Or it's just like a way of, it's like a closure, you know?
Sure.
You know, like we're never gonna speak again. But
yeah, here's 140 hours of shit that you can listen to.
Yeah, it's a great goodbye gift, perhaps.
Yeah. And then who knows? You might rekindle that love again. You'll go back to the police station again.
Sure. And share us in your stories too on the social medias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be nice. That'd be nice. Doing good. Things are happening. We are in Montreal, a notoriously cold city, but we're messing around with about 7 degrees here, middle of December.
It is quite balmy today.
Not too
I will say it
bad.
hasn't been too snowy so far, which is nice.
Everybody said it wouldn't happen. Everybody said we couldn't do it, but you know what I say to that? Thank you for the good weather.
Yeah, I mean it's we're not even technically in winter yet.
No.
Winter starts December 21st,
Really?
I believe. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's more to come.
The more you know.
Yeah. But we, as per usual, have a great album to get into.
You're darn right.
At the end of the episode. But before that, we'll break a few interesting news stories.
We'll cover a vast array, I believe, or maybe just, a few topics. But either way, people come to us for the news, and we're here to talk about it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. What do you got for us this week, Jackie?
Okay. A Las Vegas woman left a U2 concert to take $50,000 from her sugar daddy's hotel safe.
Deplorable.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, if you're leaving the atmosphere of a U2 concert.
I understand wanting to get the fuck out of there. I get it.
I was gonna say it's gotta be over $40K if you're leaving that experience, you know?
I would leave a U2 concert for free. But that is I'm not really in a position where just $50,000 cash is laying around, but right. I am, you know what I mean? I do have the moral compass where, you know what I mean, if a nice older gentleman is flying me all the way out to Las Vegas and taking me to a show that I don't want to see, you're going to leave the cash in the safe.
Right. Well, okay, she probably wanted to see the show, though, because it's a legendary band.
Sure.
So a Las Vegas woman faces charges of grand larceny and burglary after police says she left her sugar daddy at a concert, broke into his hotel room, and stole more than $50,000 from him, according to police documents. Now, is it breaking in if you have a key?
Don't think so.
Yeah.
They're going to have a hard time prosecuting that one.
Yeah.
I do think that, the theft of the personal property might be the issue here.
Okay.
But, a grand larceny.
But let's get into it because there's a few nuances here that are worth noting.
Sure.
So on Sunday, October 15th, police were called to Caesars Palace Hotel and Casino after a man in his 50s told police he was the victim of grand larceny, the report stated. The man told police he met a woman in her 20s, identified as Haley McNally, on a dating website called Seeking Arrangement 5 weeks prior. In conversations on the site, the victim referred to himself as a sugar daddy and arranged for McNally to spend the weekend with him in Las Vegas, according to the report.
I think it's funny for him to call the police station and to call the police and say I've been
grand larcened.
Yeah, I've been larcened. Like I've been burgled, I've been robbed. You know what I mean? But I've been larcened is pretty cool.
So, so the grand larceny seems like this is his choice of terminology. So the victim, I like how they're referring to him as a victim here. The victim,
yeah, not just like a dork that pays a 20-year-old girl to come to fucking Vegas.
Well, he made a few mistakes. So he told police that he told McNally he was going to pay her $2,500 for the weekend. The report stated.
That's relatively light.
That is light if you have $50,000 in a safe.
There was some other. I think that might have been a base fee, and then everything else on top of that might be.
Or maybe because it says he's going to pay her $2,500.
But yeah, if you are only paying $2,500 and you do,
you're going to get $2,500 service.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Right. That's exactly it. Right. Especially if that person has eyes on $50,000 cash that you may have in your safe.
Yeah, so he claimed that sex was discussed but never happened, which is relevant for some reason. The two met at Caesar's Palace on Friday, October 13th, where the victim gave McNally the money. So he'd cash up front. The two went to the pool and dinner, where the victim became intoxicated, the report stated. McNally helped the victim to bed and left for the night. She returned the next morning and joined him and his friends who were gambling at the pool. The victim gave McNally $400, which she used to win approximately $3,100, according to the report. Good for her.
But I mean, consequential. I don't really think that any of
that's
this
more
matters
than she's,
for the state for the story.
Yeah, none of this is relevant to the story, but that's more than she's getting
she
getting
400
paid for.
Into 31, and that's how you do it, right? Is that you turn 400 into 31 by not giving a fuck about it. If you don't own that $400, right, then you're just gonna throw it around. That's how you win.
Exactly. Yeah. No, she literally has nothing to lose.
You know what? I'm on Team McNally here for sure.
She more than doubled what she was gonna make for the weekend by hanging out with this loser. So after the pool, McNally asked if she could put her purse inside his safe in his hotel room. So this is the sneaky. The victim gave McNally the code to the safe, and she stored her purse there with his personal belongings, including $50,000 in cash and $7,000 worth of casino chips.
God, buddy.
Yeah, that's so. You gotta respect that. That's a slick move.
It's a good way to get got.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like, why would she not just carry her purse with her? Like, I mean, you gotta be if you're a sugar daddy meeting up with a woman who lives in Las Vegas that you met on seeking arrangements app, then you got to be more you got to have your wits about you, you know.
Oh, big time. Yeah, if this girl's just driving down the road to the Bellagio, I'm sure this isn't the first time this has happened. I'm sure this is the first time that she's just been, you know, lucky enough to be with somebody dumb enough to have $50,000.
Yeah, she probably. This is probably not the first time she's robbed someone.
We don't need to paint McNally in this kind of light.
That night, the night of October 14th, McNally, the victim, and the victim's friends went to the U2 concert at Sphere. While at the concert, McNally said she needed to go use the restroom. After McNally was gone for around 15 minutes, the victim texted her to ask if she was okay. She did not respond. Around 50 minutes after she left, the victim called Caesar's Palace security to request that his hotel room to be put on lockdown.
Too late.
Yeah, 50 minutes. She could do a lot in those 50 minutes. When he returned to his room and opened his safe, he discovered that it was empty. Surveillance video from the hotel showed McNally entering the 24th floor of the hotel at around 9:30 p.m., 30 minutes after she told the victim she was going to the bathroom. Just a few minutes later, she is seen re-entering the elevator with multiple bags, the report stated.
It's like a low-rent Ocean's 11 where she's coming out the elevator and the security's coming in, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just like cross pass. It's nice. You like it.
So, again, it's interesting because if she had a key to the room and she had the code to the safe and her purse, her personal belonging was in that safe, is there some sort of legal loophole argument she could be making that somehow she is entitled to the other contents of the safe?
I hope not. I think that's fucking insane. I hope not for the sake of this fucking poor bastard, but that being said, you're still stealing, you know, $50,000 worth of personal belongings from somebody, and that in itself is a crime. So, like, whether or not it be grand larceny, I don't think they have a leg to stand on as far as, like, this whole, like, burglary angle or whatever, you know, like breaking and entering or anything like that. There was no breaking. You know, there was just entering.
Yeah.
And, you know, and, yeah, I don't think that this is like they're putting her up for like felonies and stuff like that.
Okay, so she was taken into custody on the 17th, and she told police that at the concert the victim was sexually aggressive and touching her inappropriately. She told police this made her uncomfortable, so she robbed him. so she left the concert, went back to the hotel room, and grabbed her belongings. McNally said she only grabbed her belongings and the casino chips. She denied ever taking any cash from the safe. During a search of her apartment, police found $11,700 in cash and $5,200 in casino chips.
So she already spent $33,000. Dang.
But how do they know that that's not her $11,000?
Well, exactly, right?
If she's like an active sugar baby, like there's no way to prove that's the thing, not
right?
hers.
Like, I mean, this whole thing could be bullshit in the sense that like she has admitted to going into the safe, so that guy could have said there's $100,000 in that fucking safe, right? We don't know. There might be.
But
this,
if she had the code
complete...
to the safe, that again isn't, and if they can't prove, like, it's not like she stole a belonging where you can show it and you can prove that belongs to someone else.
Sure.
They're just finding cash. How the fuck could they prove that that's not her cash?
I think they would have a very difficult time doing it, and it's a problem because it's her word against his situation. Mm-hmm. So if she didn't steal any cash and this son of a bitch is just like basically like take any fucking
this could be
money
like a hit
in
job
her
on
house or
it,
whatever,
totally,
right?
Yeah.
Just because she doesn't want to fucking rub up on your dick at a U2 concert. This guy sounds like the worst of worst. So I'm hoping that in my heart of hearts I want Team McNally here to be to get through the other side of this and show this piece of shit for what he is. And
so she faced charges of grand larceny of more than $25,000 but less than $100,000 and residential burglary. Again, that I don't know if it's burglary if she entered with a key and opened up the safe with the code that she was given.
This thing is two felonies here?
Yeah, two felonies. Yeah, so
for $50,000 that may or may not even exist.
That they only found just over $11,000.
That means that in 12 hours this girl went and spent $33,000.
Or if she did take it, she like had already stashed it away somewhere.
Oh, you hide it. I mean, it's under the mattress or whatever the fuck. But either way, I mean, there's no way to without
like how could she have spent that? Like because if
I'll
you're
spend $30,000.
no, of course. But if she's taking that much money. Presumably, it's not just to take and spend right away, right?
No,
like
you set up a little nest egg. You're
helping
yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, McNally's out here fucking doing sex works and stuff for $2,500 a weekend. She needs to put some money away.
She's hustling to make a living.
Of course.
So yeah, it's really like a he said, she said kind of situation. I mean, she looks like a trustworthy gal.
I don't see any reason why not to.
Yeah,
trust this girl.
So I mean, okay, let's go with the information we've got. They were both on this, I don't know, I assume that's like a sugar daddy, sugar baby app. So they both are on this. So presumably both of them have had relationships like this in the past.
Sure.
Sugar baby, sugar daddy.
Sure.
He is not from Las Vegas, but she is. He is a U2 fan. So what does that say about the victim here? The quote unquote
the victim is a middle-aged man who's going to go gambling all weekend with his buddies, which I mean I do once a year. What I don't do is pay $2,500 to have a girl 20 years younger than me 30 years younger than me just so I can sit there and be cool, because that would be a 3-year-old baby and I don't need a baby with me in Vegas to look cool. But this son of a bitch is a different it's a totally different scenario. So I think he's a bit of a dork.
I mean, it seems like he got. Like, it seems like, I mean, first of all, this guy is clearly a fucking idiot.
100%.
Like,
100%.
It's so, like, you can see it from a mile away to ask to put her purse in the safe. So, I mean, like, this guy, and the fact that he was just giving her money to spend, and the fact that the fact that he clarified for some reason that in their arrangement sex was discussed but did not happen. So like this guy doesn't know how to get what he wants.
No, he doesn't. And I think that the problem that I see with it is that if he doesn't know how to get what he wants, then he becomes vindictive at this point, right? He becomes a real piece of shit. Where if this girl is like, fuck you, dude, I'm just going to get my purse out of the fucking hotel room and get the fuck out of here. because you're a dork. He leaves. Then he calls her and he's like, I'm gonna ruin your fucking life right now.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean, right?
Like maybe
who's to
he
say,
was.
Who's to say he said, she said thing? In this particular situation, unfortunately, they might believe the older, successful man rather
100%
than
they would.
the 20-year-old, you know, quote unquote sex worker or whatever. In this.
But they didn't even have sex.
Exactly.
He's
and
just paying for her company.
That's the rough part about it. So I think that this
took his $400, made it into $3,100.
Right?
Like she is fucking doing way better than he is.
Exactly. Yeah, this girl rules.
And like,
wait a minute, I'm a dude. This woman is the devil.
But if we are to believe her statement that he was being like sexually aggressive and stuff, and so then she just leaves because she's like, this was not part of our arrangement. I don't want to be here anymore. Guy. And then again, he is jaded because she just left when he was making these advances on her. And so then the fact that he immediately said shut my room down shows like intent to perhaps set her up for this accusation.
Of course. Mm-hmm. I think that all of this is probably happening during probably on a street with no name. I'm thinking probably.
Yeah, you know what? That's the song that's been in my head this whole time, because this doesn't happen to With or Without You.
No, definitely. I think it crescendos at With or Without You. I think that's what's playing when they're like, you know,
maybe that's when he was kind of trying to like, you know, make some moves, trying to make this into something that it wasn't.
Totally. You want it like the rain to be falling. I guess not in Las Vegas, but you want it through the glass of the police car with the red and blue lights flashing and everything. That's where With or Without You is sexy.
You know what song is playing during this?
What's that?
It's Vertigo. We get dos, tres, couture, hello.
Oh, that fucking stupid song.
In a place called Vertigo. Is that not the song that's playing when a sugar baby is robbing her sugar daddy?
I know that song, but I also know that when South Park makes fun of Bono every time he comes into a scene, that's hello. It's so fucking funny. But regardless of the song playing, I do think that if this guy could potentially set up anything and, like, you know what I mean, make on the life of a girl who probably doesn't have it going great. If he can make that life even worse, then he will. And
yeah, this sounds like he is not. The fact that for some reason them calling him a victim is really rubbing me the wrong way.
Yeah, no, me too.
I don't think that he's a victim of anything here.
I don't see anything wrong with this.
Say, just for argument's sake, that he did have $50,000 cash that he was storing, then that really means that $50,000 is nothing to him. If he's taking that out in cash, then that's just like, so really he has not experienced much of a loss.
Little folding money for the weekend. Get the fuck out of here. It's going to ruin this young lady's life.
Right?
Unfortunately.
And then
he
has the audacity to cheap out and only give her $2,500 for spending an entire weekend with these like disgusting.
And yeah, dude, you just bring that. Yes, Caesar's Palace, right? I bet he's saying at the fucking table or whatever, I bet after you two, this girl's gonna fuck all of us. Or he's saying some wild shit. I guarantee you.
Oh yeah.
Right, like the boys are all high fiving and stuff like that. I bet they all got girls. I bet they're all fucking losers. And you know, I think that you know, you get what you pay for, but.
Yeah. So shout out to Haley McNally. I hope. I think she actually has already, because this is a bit of an old story. So I think she's already been in court again. So because it said her next court appearance is scheduled for November 22nd. So that was almost a month ago now.
We'll keep up with this.
So we'll circle back to this one for sure. Okay, so the next story is one that we were gonna do last week but ran out of time.
Oh, fun.
Hell yeah. Will resonate with you. A man charged after allegedly trying to kill someone for, quote, eating all the tacos.
No problems here.
Okay, wait. So just based on the headline, where do you think, obviously it's going to be in the States. We know that. But where do you think in the States this is taking place?
You want to go Florida because it's just so insane.
You want to go Florida, but if it was Florida, the headline would be Florida man, right?
I think so, yeah. And like I'm gonna put this in the Southwest just because just with the Mexican, with the ethnicity of the said food here. I'm gonna put this one in Tejas, baby.
Tejas, okay. It is in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah, almost heaven.
Take me home. Hot, warm, hollow road. Ooh, gross.
Ew.
A residence of warm, hollow road? That's fucking disgusting. Let's get into this.
A man has been charged after allegedly trying to kill someone in Morgantown for eating all the tacos. So
I just love eating all the tacos.
Yeah, and it's in quotes. So this is clearly like a direct quote that this is coming from somewhere.
Ate all the tacos. Fucking Dale Martin.
Yeah,
53?
I mean that's a high crime.
West Virginia State Police responded to a residence on Warm Hollow Road for a reported dispute.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
That's the best.
According to a criminal complaint. When deputies arrived, they spoke with the victim, who stated that Dale Martin, 53 of Morgantown, quote, became irate due to them eating all the tacos.
They ate all the fucking tacos.
At that time, Martin went to a bedroom and retrieved a .22 caliber semi-automatic rifle.
Oh, that's just a little baby. Pop, pop,
And
pop.
the victim ran up the staircase after seeing Martin with the rifle, according to the complaint. A rifle is a pretty dramatic statement.
Well, it would still hurt regardless. That's what everybody says, like the caliber of the gun or whatever is like, yeah, it's not going to blow a hole through you, but it's still going to put a hole in you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like the caliber is, it's kind of irrelevant in this case.
No, it matters when you get to the emergency room for sure, but still, like.
Yeah, the victim stated that Martin, quote, fired the gun into the staircase where he had just been, and a witness to the incident. So this is at a dinner party. A witness to this is Taco Tuesday.
If I show up to Taco Tuesday and you ate all the tacos, I'm gonna fucking shoot you too. Like,
what day of the week was November 22nd or November 20th? Because if this was a Tuesday,
we're damn it.
Let me pull up the documents here. If this is a Tuesday, then this actually gets a little bit more understandable.
This is the listener of the week. This is Tuesday.
Monday. Oh, so close.
Okay. Oh. Hey, maybe he's got to take the kid home or whatever.
Taco Monday, Mexican Monday, perhaps.
Cinco de Mayo.
Okay, so the victim stated Martin fired the gun into the staircase where he had just been, and a witness to the incident said that Martin, quote, called him earlier in the evening and stated, "I just shot at the victim. I don't think I won't get the 12 gauge and blow his fucking head off."
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That man knew exactly what he was doing. He's like, I'm gonna get the 22 out here. I'm just gonna send a couple.
So okay. So devil's advocate.
Sure.
This clearly was taking place in this man's home because he just had multiple weapons at the ready, right?
Yeah.
And so perhaps
balls to come into my house?
He prepared a taco night for some friends, for some neighbors maybe. And this guy, no manners whatsoever, just comes in and fucking shoves hoovers all of the tacos. Like, God, that's
damn, I'm
like
sneezy. You have the fucking balls to come into my house, the gall, you will, the wherewithal to know how much I love tacos and shove them down your fucking gullet. It doesn't matter.
That's a because you know what you're doing.
Oh, for sure. And like, it doesn't matter. Are we talking carne asada? Are we talking lengua? It doesn't. No, I'm sure we're talking
all of it.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking insane.
I love every kind of taco. I'm going to go ahead and say West Virginia white family. This is Old El Paso hard shell.
It's got to be.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Ground beef.
Taking a look at this guy, he's not making authentic tacos.
Not a chance. But you know what I love to do? I like to sprinkle a little cheddar cheese on there, throw some sour cream on them bitches, and get at them myself. It's a fantastic taco. Anytime you're delivering, meat, vegetables, sauce, cheese in any sort, like where we flour tortilla, corn tortilla, doesn't matter.
So this is actually an interesting debate because I do not fuck with hard shell tacos at all.
I mean, we don't need to get into all the reasons that we don't work. You know what I mean? The fact is that we do. I don't need to sit here and tell you why you're wrong, but you are.
No, because
hard shell tacos are so incredible.
Soft shell is so much better, though. It's so much better. It holds the ingredients better. It feels nicer. I don't like taking a bite into a hard shell taco and it like scraping my mouth. Yeah. I don't like that. And the texture doesn't even add an element to it because in a soft shell taco, if you're making it right, there's already an element of crunch added to it. So I don't need the hard shell.
That's totally well and fine. I'm eating it strictly for like nostalgic purposes. It's the food of my youth.
We had tons of old El Paso taco nights, and I always disliked the hard shell. In fact, because I thought as a kid, because obviously that's the only tacos you have when you're a kid, I thought that that's all that tacos were. So for a long time, I thought I just didn't really fuck with tacos.
That's crazy. Well, cause I'm not gonna lie to you, babe. Like when I was a kid, I was also the soft shell. My mom would do both because I'm a special little boy. Also, like I'd be eating, like I love glizzies and stuff, right? So my brother would have steaks. I'd be having glizzies and shit because I didn't like a steak. What a moron, right? But as you grow up, you see the error in your ways, and now. I'm not here to say that there's any I'm not here to preach taco supremacy. That's not what
I mean, because it's no contest. Everyone knows that soft shell is like, if you're doing like the pyramid of tacos, then like soft shell is inarguably at the top.
No comment.
Let's bring a Mexican in.
Get me a Raul. Give me a Miguel looking motherfucker in here right now to solve this for both of us. You're right. Like, because I would say like authentic Mexican tacos are at the top of the taco pyramid for sure.
Exactly.
That being said, they always have, a softer shell. But like a bro down with my brother. Okay. 18 beers. Half a gram of hiya, and then we were fucking greatest night of your life. Watch Transformers, maybe Fast and the Furious movie.
Wow. I'm not arguing that there's a time for me. There's no time and place for hard shell. I just really am not into it. But I'm not saying that makes you tasteless. There is an argument to be made for that, but I'm not saying it. But
sure, dirty heathen.
But the kind of people that eat hard shell tacos are the kind of people that are gonna pull out a .22 caliber rifle and shoot you. If you eat all of the tacos.
I'm ready to shoot you now, just for any. You don't even have to besmirch the name. You could just be whiffing at a besmirchment, right? And I could see where it comes. Like I'm not gonna shoot you, babe. Obviously,
where's the besmirchment?
Just even saying that you don't like them, which is just...
That's not besmirchment. That's an opinion.
It is an opinion, but
I think I was very fair because I said...
You're right, but I'm not smart enough to understand the difference, so I'm going to take it as offense. You understand? You're dealing with a hothead, okay? Who loves crunchy tacos.
Okay. So deputies found the firearm as well as a spent shell casing where at least 2 of the rounds went through the residence into the outer walls. Jesus Christ. He has been charged with attempted murder and is being held in jail. So...
I mean, attempted murder is pretty far to go. Like, I think...
I don't think that's a far leap at all.
No, when a man says, I don't think I won't get a 12 gauge and blow his fucking head off...
Yeah, that's intent to murder.
Okay, yeah. Attempt, sure. All right, throw the book at him.
She shot at him at least twice.
It's unfortunate because you'd think in West Virginia, the place where you're probably not going to get tacos is probably the.
But maybe that's why it's like so.
Facility.
It's not something that you would expect. Maybe that's why it was such a special night.
For sure, sure. And I think like it takes a lot for somebody to step out of their comfort zone. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Maybe, and then you push them to the point where. Maybe it was just a long day. Maybe he was just hungry and he came home and, like, it could have been anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? This could have been a pot roast. This could have been anything.
Chili.
Could have been just a good old boy fashion. Where's the cornbread? Where's some comfort food, you know what I mean, in West Virginia here on a cold November night.
Right.
Right? But it just so happened to be tacos, so that it turned into the fucking Alamo at this place and people fucking almost lost their lives.
Yeah.
I think he's a hero.
Okay. There's no doubt that being a guest in someone's home, if you're invited for dinner and coming in and eating all of the food that they have prepared, that is a dick move.
100%.
But we can also agree that pulling out a rifle and shooting at least 2 rounds at them before threatening to blow their fucking head off, that is an overreaction. So where is the middle ground? What is the appropriate reaction that won't catch you a jail sentence?
I mean, probably fisticuffs. Like, you should have punched his lights out. Maybe it would have been a better situation. But when taco rage fills your soul, then it's tough, right? Because he's probably coming out of that blind rage now in a jail cell, realizing what he's done. And it's
one of those situations where he started off as in the right, being upset at what was happening. Like, you were totally valid to be upset at that. You're starting off as the good guy, but then your reaction, then immediately you become the bad guy.
As soon as that's what happens, like, you push a man too far, and we've seen this time and time again. But it's really up to the measure of the man, to really face the consequences of his actions and stand before his peers in his community and therefore God.
Yeah.
Not but still, I think there's don't lock him up forever. You know what I mean? What do you think? This is like
not
3 to
forever.
5? 6? What do you get for attempted murder?
There's attempted murder. That's a pretty rough sentence.
You do like 10 years for that?
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
I mean, he shot at someone twice. Like, that is like
for eating all the tacos.
If we take the tacos out of this, because the tacos add some whimsy to this, right?
Sure.
But if we just take it for the actual crime that occurred, right?
Yep.
He shot at a man twice.
Yep.
And then threatened to blow its fucking head off.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to get you definitely a handful of years at the least.
Sometimes I'm an emotional boy, so I'm gonna, I tend to lean on, the side of forgiveness. You know what I mean? I am a good Christian, good Catholic boy after all. So that being said, again, it's just a bad situation of a guy that got.
I don't think he got God. I think he got himself.
Yeah.
He got get.
He got get. Okay. I'll give you that. But this is just the problem with people in West Virginia, where you think you're far enough away, you have to go further.
Right.
You have to go further. Where this man's not gonna make it to the police department next time he comes over and tries to eat all them fucking tacos. But,
I mean, like, he should definitely have some sort of slap on the wrist as well to be like, hey, dude, not cool. Because he's going to walk away feeling like he's a hero, right? He's like, all I did was have a couple fucking tacos, and all of a sudden Dale is chasing me up the stairs with a rifle.
Dale looks like such a hothead, too, because this is not the best picture of Dale.
This is not the first time Dale Martin has pulled out his .22 caliber rifle at dinner.
No, but like, I love that. Like, if they would call him like what are they gonna call him in a West Virginia jail? Like, cause like his name has got to be Taco Tuesday, Speedy Gonzalez. Like, they're gonna call him some crazy Mexican shit where Dale's gonna snap again. This is the problem with the prison system, right? It's like you're gonna send a man in with maybe only 3 or 5 years to do, but they're gonna push him so far,
right,
that he's gonna do consecutive life sentences. Right. I think. And it's
what was the thing that we saw? I can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or if we saw it somewhere, but there was a guy, like a pedophile, that went in jail, and they intentionally put him in the same jail cell as a guy.
Yeah, that would like
that his like sister or something was one of the victims. His sister
was a victim of his.
Yeah,
and
so
the
this
guy would like brag about it and stuff like that.
Exactly. So this guy obviously killed the man with his bare hands, and so now this guy he wasn't even serving that big of a sentence. It was for something pretty like minor,
robbery or something like that.
Yeah. But now this guy is in there for life.
It's insane because like depending on the state too, and like who said something, because there was a guy in Texas that murdered a guy for messing with his kid's daughter, I believe, and he just went to trial and they didn't do anything. He killed a man, and they a Texas judge fucking basically gave him like a standing ovation.
These things like really depend on the judges.
The
what did I say? Oh, I saw this when I was looking for stories today. I saw this, but I didn't think there was enough there for us to discuss. But it does tie into this that basically a woman was at a Chipotle and basically threw their burrito bowl at the worker's face because it wasn't what she wanted it to be.
Jesus.
And so the judge sentenced her to 30 days in jail and then 60 days working in a fast food restaurant. so she could like like walk a mile in the workers' shoes or whatever and understand what they have to deal with every day and why that's not okay.
Is this a 90s movie? That's the plot
right?
to every
Isn't
fucking...
that insane? But it's like the judges just have like the power to do this.
Is this Little Giants? Did you have to coach a fucking Little League team too? That's fucking insane.
Like, I didn't know that they... But I mean... I guess there's an element of creativity when you're a judge. I didn't know that that's something you could sentence someone to.
I thought that only happened to Keanu Reeves.
Here's the thing is that she also had to find the job herself at any fast food restaurant, and so that she
had to apply and find her.
Yeah, and get hired. And then she still had not been hired at the time that this article was written. She was still looking, so she had to be fucking pounding the pavement, applying to fucking Chipotle's and McDonald's, and then serve her time of 60 days.
That rules.
And imagine the application to that job, because does she have to disclose the reason for it if it's court ordered? Like,
if it's a court ordered thing, then they it really depends, because if it's like a court mandated thing, like say you get a DUI charge, and then one of the stipulations that you have to go to Alcoholics
Say, for
Anonymous
example,
meetings.
You get a DUI charge.
Yeah, right. So for that reason, like if you had a let's say let's say that happened to somebody. Let's say that happened to somebody that we don't know, that's not even talking right now. If that happened, and say you had to go to like Alcoholics Anonymous for some kind of counseling or something like that.
Yeah.
That goes like you need to be
like
signed in and checked into those kind of things like that.
Yeah.
Community service, all these other things, the same thing. Whether that's through like it's usually through like a probation officer or somebody checking in on that, which makes it very difficult to find a job if that's one of the stipulations on your resume.
Wouldn't you? So if I'm thinking, if I'm a manager at McDonald's, and this like shitty middle-aged Karen has been sentenced to work 60 days in fast food because she historically has been an absolute god-awful customer and literally threw piping hot food at someone's face, and her, after already serving 30 days in jail, she has to work 60 days in this environment to know what it's like. I actually would kind of be keen to provide that experience for her.
You want to be like you want to be her black guy in American History X?
I've never seen American History X.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's a wild one. It's a wild one, but the overall sentiment, like the movie at the end, is a pretty fantastic film. Basically, racism is bad.
Okay.
Is the overarching theme.
Okay.
But to get into a little bit more depth, there's a part where Edward Norton is in jail, and like a very intense white supremacist Nazi dude or whatever, and he gets some things happen to him.
Clips. I feel like we watched clips of it in film school.
Oh, we definitely did. That. Yeah, it's fantastic.
I've seen some fucking gnarly clips.
Oh yeah. He got robbed for an Oscar for sure. Like it's fucking insane. But they're like one of the best part of the movie in my opinion, and like there's actually like some heart there and some humor to that flick is where he befriends this dude in the laundry and they work together. So they're, he's also from like Los Angeles. So they have like, arguments about basketball and things like that or whatever.
Right.
And it's like, and it turns out we're not that different. You
sure.
know? So you would want to have that moment with this lady in a fucking McDonald's? Because I'd be like, fuck you, man. You're only here for 60 days. You can eat shit. I'd make her life harder.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I would want that person. Like, so... I worked in food service for many, many years, and you have as well. We both know what it's like to work in customer service facing positions, particularly in food service. People are terrible.
Yeah, they always put me in the back because I'd throw a Chipotle bowl in a customer's face.
Yeah, so the amount of shitty people you have to deal with in those situations, within the amount of times that I have thought like, I fucking wish that this person had to deal with this shit. Yeah. And so it's not even about wanting to be like a mentor. It's just wanting them to experience the shittiness.
It's it's the coolest judge ever. It's like a taste of your own medicine judge.
Exactly.
Like if that works like all the way
especially
through.
Like the fact that the judge specified it had to be fast food. Yeah. Because it's like, I mean, anywhere is shitty. And I never worked in a fast food place, but I can't imagine that it's even worse in that scenario,
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like if everybody got like the same treatment, like say like if you're a car thief, somebody comes and steals your car or something like that, or like like Sandusky. If you're Sandusky and you've been at like your university just like molesting young athletes for 20 years, then your high school coach, like there's like a knock at the door and then like a wheelchair comes through and it's just like a 90-year-old guy has to molest a molester now. Taste of your own medicine, judge. I'm just saying that's interesting.
But yeah. So all that to say is that I had no idea judges had that freedom to just design.
You really gave me nothing on the taste of your own medicine thing there. All right. Hey. We're sitting alone on an island here.
Yeah. So I hope that whoever sentences Dale Martin does, like,
yes,
he has to. What would be a taste of your own medicine sentence for Mr. Dale Martin?
For Mr. Dale Martin, it's like the guy that ate the tacos has to come and eat all the tacos again every Tuesday or every Monday until this guy gets his shit together.
That's not a taste of your own medicine. That's a taste of the medicine that you've already tasted.
So then this guy has to eat. He has to gorge himself on tacos, get to the point where he can't.
And then
leave the
be
table,
in like
and then have to
controlled like obstacle course scenario, like almost like a Hunger Games kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that guy fires a couple rounds at him.
Yeah, and you kind of have to like fucking you're zigzagging.
Yeah, we're not like, I mean, you might get shot.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
one of those things, right?
Yeah, maybe because obviously this is court mandated. Perhaps
he doesn't know.
Like,
maybe we'll get a 12 gauge and blow his fucking head off, right?
So,
like it's a taste of his own medicine.
So, but since this is court mandated, perhaps this is like a paint gun situation, a BB gun situation. Because I'm saying because it is court mandated, they perhaps do not have the freedom to just sentence this guy to be shot to death. Because this, maybe in wartime that would be acceptable.
Right?
But so a situation like that where he's still terrified, because that thing is gonna fucking hurt.
The medicine has to taste just as bad as the one that you were serving originally, or else it leads to recidivism. Right? How do you say that word?
Recidivism?
Yeah. 100% of the time.
Right.
I'm just like, I don't know anything about. I guess I do know a little bit about rehabilitation and punishments fitting said crimes and things like that. Took my many laps around the track of the youth justice system and was dished a few punishments that might have that might have fit the crime. Like a taste of my own medicines, if you will.
Okay.
So, well, not necessarily actually, but. I had like a million community service hours and I wasn't doing them, and then I got in trouble again, and then the judge knew that I didn't have, so he kind of like he did the math and he basically gave me like a certain amount of time to do X amount of community service hours where I basically like would never see the light of day again. When I wasn't in school, I was like doing these things and it sucked, but I understood the need for him to do that to teach young boy a lesson.
Right. So I hope Dale Martin learns his lesson without. I mean, again, like, because the story has a certain amount of whimsy to it, you're like, I hope this guy doesn't spend years behind bars. But then again, he did try to kill someone and actively shot at them.
Dale Martin, here's to you, Bubba.
Okay, so the last story is the one that I'm most excited about. Man pretends to be store mannequin before stealing jewelry and food from mall. So this happened in Poland. Polish police said that staff and shoppers failed to notice anything unusual as the man stood in the window.
There's nothing cooler than being a 22-year-old guy and thinking that, like, the best way that you could... Okay, first of all, like, robbing the mall is so dumb because it's such, like, a big space. You got to get out of there. So what he does is, like, I'll just wait for everybody to leave the mall.
Exactly.
And then do some robbery, which, okay, now we're making a little bit more sense.
This is
how are you going to stay through the mall here? I'm just going to stand in a window.
So this reminds me of a couple things. One, of course, the mall episode on the OC, where the Core 4 is kind of going through stock in a inventory in a store for some sort of donation drive, and basically the store owners
kids just go to a store to.
I forget the why they were there exactly. Okay. But the store owners forget that they're there, and the mall closes down.
Sure.
And so they're stuck in the mall overnight. And so they're fooling around. There's like an outdoor store that they're like camping in and stuff. They're playing hockey, you know. But then one of the hockey balls, because they're playing, obviously it's on. There's no ice in the ball.
Oh yeah, a little ball hockey, a little shinny, sure.
It triggers one of the cameras, so the cops come in and they have to leave the mall. There was no larceny in this situation. It's just some good old fashioned fun times.
Good, yeah. Some rollicking, some tomfoolery, if you will.
This also reminds me. There's a Twilight Zone episode where the mannequins come to life.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a mix between these two things.
And the Bob's Burgers episode.
And the Bob's Burgers episode that we just watched. So a man has been arrested after he pretended to be a mannequin in front of a store window before stealing from a shopping center after it closed, police in Warsaw have said. The 22-year-old was pictured in CCTV standing still and holding a bag in the store of the window. The choice to hold the bag is bold. Because he had to be fucking holding it out there for God knows how long.
Well, he just has to be the most generic-looking person of all time.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
Like he's probably been told a few times he looks like a mannequin.
Jordan Wilson standing still. Like, this fucking dude is just not.
Or I wonder if anyone was like, man, like that mannequin has a lot of detail on it. You don't see mannequins that have like there's no facial features, there's no eyeballs.
No, you don't. Very rarely do their chests move from breath.
Yeah, but you're not looking that close. If you're just walking by, you're not looking that close. But I'd be like, holy fuck, that mannequin has a full-on face.
They really make him lived in looking, like his pants have mustard on them.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I love that he's like breaking in, especially to fuck with the food court is so great.
I mean, that's fantastic. Yeah.
I would love to go into a Taco Bell.
I wonder what's in a Polish food court.
Hopefully Taco Bell. I don't know. Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Pierogies?
Yeah. Polish police said that staff and shoppers failed to notice anything unusual as the man stood in the window. So I would give the staff a pass here, because if it's a mannequin in a window, you're not really.
Yeah, you work at a jean store in a mall. I'm not looking
you're
around.
not checking in on the mannequins in the window.
Not at one time.
Yeah. So a 22-year-old with a bag in his hand, frozen motionless, pretending to be a mannequin in front of a shop window, police said in a statement. In this way, he wanted to avoid being exposed by the cameras. After the shopping center closed, the man on one occasion stole from a jewelry stand. On another occasion, he went into a restaurant.
He does this more than once?
I think this is all within the same evening. On another occasion, he went into a restaurant to eat before slipping under the roller shutters at the entrance to a store to swap his clothes for new ones. So he went into a restaurant to eat. Did he prepare his own meal? Because they don't just have meals like ready to go.
Babe, when I worked at a restaurant, we would close the kitchen down. Like you would have to turn the oven on, which takes like a half hour to to really get up to full things. You know what I mean? You could definitely. You get like the cooktops going, but like your deep fryer is down. You're like, it takes a while to fire up a kitchen. Afterwards,
he returned to have some more food. That is crazy. Like, okay, so it's not like I'm going to assume that by restaurant, they don't mean like a dine-in restaurant.
No,
like,
but like it might have just been like even like a bento
situation.
box place where they just got them on the thing there.
Yeah,
right?
if it's like totally. Because if it's like a food court situation, then that makes slightly more sense. But still, like, nothing is pre-made, ready to go.
No,
like you're gonna have to do some work.
And I don't know where they keep all their shit too. Like I was saying a minute ago, I'd love to go into a Taco Bell like unsupervised, but I wouldn't know where they keep. Like it would take me like a couple hours to put. I'd rather just order the Taco Bell.
Yeah. Pay the fucking $3 or whatever for a fucking shitty hard shell taco.
Baby, I'm so looking forward to going to Taco Bell. Oh.
However, he was eventually spotted by security personnel who called the police. Wow, this is a pretty aggressive hold they have on here.
Yeah.
According to police, the man is also accused of stealing from another shopping center.
This guy rules.
Where they allege he took money from cash tills and tried to steal other items after it closed.
Could you imagine being in a store 10 minutes before it closed and be like, okay, I gotta get ready?
Yeah. I mean, okay, so
and just standing still in a corner.
So this man might be a psychopath because be able to stand still enough that no one thinks that no one questions whether or not you're a mannequin, and when you're about to commit some serious crimes here, steal like a good amount of stuff, to be able to just stand there completely motionless holding a bag
You have to be a psychopath because I feel like if somebody even like caught a whiff of me or even was like like if my eye moved to something, I'd have to laugh and walk away. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like
so
pretend
crazy.
it was all like a joke or whatever.
Yeah.
Like for him to like commit to that, like because the idea on the surface of pretending to be a mannequin is hilarious.
It's inherently funny. There's nothing not funny about it. Yeah.
But for him to do this, not for the laugh, but to go unnoticed as he's gonna steal food, clothing, jewelry, cash. Like
I hope that like he's gonna like. There's gonna be a Lord of War situation where they're interrogating him, being like, "You've done this in so many places or whatever." And like, have you ever seen Lord of War? Nicolas Cage is getting arrested for all these war crimes for selling guns and stuff. And he's arrested. The U.S. government has finally arrested this like notorious gun runner. And Nicolas Cage looks in to Ethan Hawke's eyes, and Ethan Hawke rules. Right? He's just altruistic. Like he believes in the word of the law. And Nicolas Cage is like, "I'm gonna tell you what's about to happen. You're about to get a knock on that door. And you're going to have somebody that outranks you. And he's going to pat you on the back and give you accommodations for all your hard work. And then you're going to be told to let me go. Because your boss moves more product in a day than I move in a fucking year. And blah, blah, blah. This whole thing. Talking about the hypocrisy of the American alcohol and tobacco firearm situation, especially in a world where he illegally runs guns for the United States government, where inevitably he's going to get let go. That's what's going to happen to this Polish man, where he's going to get the Polish Secret Service are going to go in to a place and be like, "We're going to need you to run clandestine operations for us." And they're like, "What do I have to do?" And they're going to be like, "Buddy, just stand still."
Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility for
Get
sure.
nothing out of you.
He could face 10 years in prison and has remained in custody for 3 months. That's kind of crazy.
He'll get out of prison. All he's got to do is stand still.
Yeah, they should be able to use him for something. I mean, the ability to stand still. I'm stuck on the fact that he was holding a bag. Like, that's a choice.
That's how great he is at this.
Maybe because he had done it so many times before, he wanted to challenge himself.
Name one mannequin you've ever seen that has anything gripped in its palm. And look at the way he's holding it.
It is outstretched. It's not like it's just like that is a hard position to hold.
With bags from other stores.
The fact that he did this multiple times and no one caught on to it. I need to see this man's face.
No, he's a personal hero.
Because he has like no color to his face. Like, because look at the mannequin he's standing. Look at the mannequins he's standing next to. They're we're gonna go ahead and say they're a completely different color shade.
Yes, they
than
are.
He is. But
Careful.
They're not. I will.
They're blackikins. They're black mannequins.
But they're not though, because they're not like a human flesh tone.
No, it's like a gray or it's like a gunmetal, whatever they call it. Yeah,
they're literally like the color like
they look like cool.
Black gray. Yeah. Exactly. Because we've seen those slick mannequins.
Not cool because they're darker, just
that
cool
they'll have at
cool.
like, for a certain mood at some stores. They have those like kind of like black silver mannequins or whatever. Yep. And these are the mannequins that he's standing next to that they don't have any facial features. And then it's just a white guy holding a bag like this.
Yeah, he looks like a 13
wearing clothing that is clearly not from the store because he is standing in a display for Barbie clothes.
Yeah, he just looks like a fucking oaf, looks like a young Shane Gillis, just a big fat kid.
Yeah, that is insane.
But like a big chubby dude, you know what I mean?
I can't imagine not taking note of that because like I actually take note of mannequins quite a bit because like there's some wild mannequins.
Yeah, and you don't want it to also maybe be a Polish guy.
But the other night we walked by a store display that had a mannequin that was doing like this high kick, and I was like, "Holy shit! Check out that mannequin."
That's true.
Because they, especially these days, mannequins they're really switching it up. And so they have mannequins doing all sorts of crazy shit. They have like different, looking mannequins. They're really like upping their game.
Yeah, you stay up to date on mannequins.
And so I can't imagine not being like, what is going on in that display? I wonder if that happened too. If anyone kind of stood out front and being like, huh,
I think anybody that would have walked by is like, the guy's trying to be a mannequin and then just walked away because you're not thinking anything of it.
Maybe, but then it said it didn't draw any note. But I guess if you're like
because what are you, a fucking superhero? No, it's November. You're shopping for fucking Christmas. You don't even want to be at the mall. You know, you're walking around, right? Like he's just banging on the fact that there's nobody's paying attention to anything except themselves and their phone.
And even if you're a shopper, you're not gonna bring that. You're not gonna bring that to attention to the workers, right? Because it wouldn't seem important at all.
It's so innocuous that you would notice it, but like you wouldn't think about it till you got to your car.
And I wouldn't, you know what? I wouldn't believe that it was real human. You know, because I'd be like, that's just so insane for someone to actually be doing that. You see that there's so many fucking TV shows where someone's pretending to be a mannequin, you know, say they're trying to hide from someone. There's a Hannah Montana episode where she is, you know, Hannah'd out and she's trying to hide from her dad. So she pretends to just be the mannequin, and the mannequin and her dad comes, Billy Ray Cyrus, and is like, oh, wow, like they even got the freckles right or something like that. And she's just standing there pretending to be a mannequin, you know.
Classic.
So we've seen that time and time again.
So many times I've seen that.
But in real life, if I saw that, because part of me is like, there's no way I would not notice something is up, especially the stark difference between the real mannequins and him. Like,
and what appears to be a child with Down syndrome.
I wouldn't be like, man, that's an interesting choice. But I don't know if my head would then jump to, that's a man pretending to be a mannequin.
Yeah, it's crazy that mannequin looks like a fat kid with a bad haircut. Holding bags for 3 other stores. I love it.
Yeah, I think he's holding bags from that store. Like it says, it has the logo. But anyways, yeah.
Oh, anyway, yeah, who knows?
It's a fascinating story.
It is fascinating.
Yeah, is it time to get into the album?
Quick recommendation. Don't have a whole lot to say about a band except for, do you know when you have like a stroke of genius and then you see that stroke of genius else somewhere in the world?
Yeah.
Great.
I was yes-anding you.
Thanks. It was 58 minutes in. Nice. No, I'm just joking. We have a band called Dirty Water from a band named Debt Neglector. Debt Neglector rules because I named a bit that I was writing Debt Neglector, and then like 2 months later, I saw this band on a poster for Fest, and I went, hey, that's funny. That's a great band name and a stroke of genius that I kind of thought that I already kind of come up with on my own. So I was like, I got to check this band out. And lo and behold, they're org to the core. If you like music that I like, then you like this band.
How long have they been around?
On Bandcamp, there is 2 full lengths and 2 EPs. So not a ton of time. This album, Dirty Water, if you buy it on Bandcamp, then portions of the proceeds go to like Flint, Michigan kind of charities or whatever. Florida band. Don't really know an entire, don't have a whole heap of information about these guys, but they are fantastic and bring some light to them. So listen to a band, and then we can all watch them grow together.
Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
What are the chances that this band was on like some poster or something that you just saw it in passing without stopping to be like, oh wow, that's a band name or whatever? It just kind of got logged into the back of your head, and then it resurfaced when you came up with this bit.
Oh, what's the chances that I'm not actually brilliant? And, probably pretty good. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah. No, I love punk rock. So yeah, thanks for pointing that to light. That I could have maybe seen that and then tricked myself into thinking that I was a creative genius.
This was not a.
It made me feel great.
This was not me coming at you. This was just me pointing out the mystery of the human mind.
It's true. That could very much be it. But I'm doing a lot of stuff, literally about neglecting debt. So very cool that they were on a similar wavelength, or maybe I subconsciously ripped them off. So however you want to say it, check them out.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in again.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
Down the road.
Peace.